What's the most important thing to consider when you're picking a topic for your book? I'm going to tell you. Just give me a minute and I'm going to share exactly what that is. But first, you should know that as an entrepreneur, you can't just pick one of the 23 topics in your head and you can't just cop out with a memoir. Hi, I'm Vickie Gould from morningoakpublishing.com. I created my publishing house because I truly believe that everyone has a story to share, that books are the ultimate marketing tool for entrepreneurs, which boosts their credibility and authority, creates impact, and transforms the world. My authors are servant leaders. They often say, if my book can help just one person, it will be worth it. And I say, take a stand for the and. You can help that one person who really needs you and impact millions across the world if you let it. Did you know the most transformational book you read is the one that you write? Yep. And leaders and change makers just like you have an obligation to write that book that's calling on your heart. It wasn't put there by mistake or by accident. This idea that you have about your book and writing it is there because it's part of what you need to do here on earth. You have the opportunity to create waves of positive change. You just have to have the nerve to do it. Now, if you're like most people, you have a lot of things you could talk about, from cooking to parenting to what your degree was about, to your hobbies like stamping cards or decorating cakes, or even investing. If you're like my clients who are multi-gifted and multi-talented and multi-passionate, there are probably more than one topic that you could talk about. So, what do you pick? You might feel like the one thing that holds all those topics together is just sharing your whole life story in a memoir. But hear me when I say this. Your memoir is the enemy to your success if you're an entrepreneur. People don't want to read your memoir. Okay, maybe your family or your friends might want to read it. They might be curious, but that's probably about it. Unless you're famous like Michelle Obama or Matthew McConaughey. Now, also, please don't get me wrong here. I'm not saying not to include your story in your book. In fact, it's of the utmost importance, just not in the form of a memoir. That's a specific genre that's written in a certain way, and it's not the same as a nonfiction book written to grow your business. In the end, there's only one thing to consider. One question that you need to answer that will reveal the perfect topic for your book. And that is, what book will lead your reader right into your paid programs and services as the right next step, making working with you just plain logical and wanted? See, your book needs to be the introduction, the entryway into working with you if you're an entrepreneur. Write something else on a different topic and it's like trying to put a square peg in a round hole. It just doesn't fit. It won't flow right. And you have to make things easy for people to make the choice. That next step that I'm talking about to work with you, that choice. So inside your book, like I mentioned, you have to put in your story. You have to connect with them, your reader. You have to create a relationship with your reader, because people buy from their emotions and then they justify with their logic that they've chosen correctly. When both are lined up, you have an excited buyer. Now, don't run away from the perfect topic because you're afraid your book will sound salesy or you might feel icky. Guess what? You are in control of that. The solution is to just not write it in a way that's salesy and icky. My peeps get my 5S system for putting their whole book together, and we make sure that everything flows. The book is a page turner, it's really meaningful, and your reader is going to love it. It's like this. When you're excited to buy something, you want to buy it, right? You want that next thing. You know, when people are, crazy about things, think about like the Beanie Baby craze. Okay, I might be dating myself here, but the Beanie Babies, when a new one came out, people just jumped all over it. They didn't think that that next stuffed critter was salesy. They swarmed the stores for it. They knew they wanted to buy it. They knew that the Beanie Baby company was selling the next one. So write your book right with that topic that leads your reader right into your paid programs and services. And when you do it right, they'll be excited to get it and they will want it. I remember when I attended a webinar once when, of course, at the end, they pitched a program, right? It wasn't the best fit for me, but I still wanted and needed to buy something for that next step. I resonated with the person who was putting on the webinar. I loved her to pieces. We got along so well. I contacted her to ask if she has something more appropriate for me, but she told me no. I went on to basically beg her to sell me a part of her other program because I needed part of it, but not the whole thing. I even made a suggestion of what she had that she might be able to sell me, but she kept telling me she didn't have anything available to suit my needs or that that piece of it wasn't for sale. I'm telling you, I was so disappointed. She left me hanging. I was so excited for this next step. I knew what I wanted. She basically solved a problem for me and then left me on the side of the road waiting for the next step. And this is the same thing that will happen if you write a book and leave your readers hanging on that next step. In essence, you'll be writing a book, putting all that time and effort and heart into it, and prepping what should be your ideal client reader, because your reader and your ideal client should be the same person. You're prepping them to go find someone else for the next step. Talk about losing money. Talk about a lost opportunity for you. Talk about loss for your business growth. Does that all make sense? So the one question you need to ask yourself to find your picture perfect topic is, what is the topic that will lead your reader straight into your programs and services? It's easy as that. That is the topic you need to write about. Ta-da! I'd love to hear your takeaways in the comments below. Let me know which part of this was the most helpful. And if you enjoyed our time together, leave me a thumbs up and a like, and grab my top 10 most profitable best-selling book niches below. It's my gift to you for free, just for being you and for being here. Don't forget as well that I'll be putting up more videos to help you write, market, publish, and launch your bestseller. So hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when they drop. It's my desire to help as many people get the book out of their head and onto paper. So see you in the next video about structuring and outlining your book so you can write it in just 60 days or less. All right, see you later. Bye.